Good afternoon. Let's call Planning Commission to order. Ms. Morgan, would you please call roll?
Mayor Gillespie.
Here.
Councilman Bowles. Chairman Gardner.
Here.
Vice Chair McAuley. Chief Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Carpenter. Mr. Hall. Mr. Nelson. And Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Thank you. We do have a quorum. Minutes for June 20th, 2013. Any comments? Everybody get a chance to see the minutes?
Move they be approved as issued.
Second by Ms. Carpenter. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you. Minutes approved. There was no old business, and we got new business. It's the sketch plan for Pembroke Phase Number 2 and Glenbrook Phase Number 3. Pembroke Drive, owner is Trustmark Bank, Stone Martin Builders. Representative is Barrett Simpson Incorporated. Mayor, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, sir. Whereas Trustmark National Bank is the owner of the undeveloped portion of Pembroke subdivision, whereas Stone Martin Builders has presented a proposed sketch plan for development of the undeveloped land, whereas proposed development is located on the west side of Old Ridge Road and south of adjacent to East Memorial Baptist Church, west of and adjacent to Hollybrook subdivision, north of existing Glenbrook subdivision, phases 1 and 2. And whereas proposed development is located inside the city limits, whereas the third revised sketch plan of the proposed development was approved on May 20th, 2010, and whereas the city department heads have reviewed and commented on the revised sketch plan, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Prattville Planning Commission hereby approves the submitted revised sketch plan of Pendlebrook Phase 2 and Glenbrook Phase 3 subdivision. Mr. President, I so move.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Corley. Thank you. Let the record show that Mr. Hall is present. We open for discussion. Mr. Duke, you want to give a report?
Yes, sir, I'll be glad to. Might be helpful if the applicant provides his presentation first, and then glad to react to that. That way he can give you some details on what they propose.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duke. Hello?
Tired of looking at this yet?
Not exactly.
Not yet.
Mr. President, may I have a point of order?
Please.
If you don't mind, I know this is probably a little backwards, but I wasn't here in 2010. I have been at some of these meetings. Would you mind just going back just a little bit, give me a little bit of history, and tell me, where did we come from, where are we now, and what plans did you have? I know about some recreational swimming pool and clubhouse and stuff like that. Okay, if you can just take about whatever time you need.
I'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
When Stone Martin first came to Prattville, what was available was a completely empty section, phase 1 of Pendlebrook subdivision, which is, directly adjacent to existing Glenbrook. Stone Martin came in, I believe there were 49 lots in the existing subdivision. They came in, started building, and then with the developer of the property and the current owner at the time of the remainder of the property, entered into an agreement to purchase that property. That they went through the process, they were building homes and had Barrett Simpson come in, survey the property, engineer the property. The Planning Commission saw a full sketch plan and preliminary plat submittal, had approved construction plans, and we were getting ready to break ground on the next phase. And at that point, the property entered into the bankruptcy courts. And it has been tied up in the bankruptcy courts for a couple of years now. The property is now out of the bankruptcy system and is available for purchase again. And Stone Martin jumped on it, because they loved the property and had plans to develop it originally. Once it goes into bankruptcy courts, it's pretty much hands-off. We can't touch it, they can't sell it, they can't do anything until the bankruptcy is resolved. So it just recently came out, and Stone Martin hopped in and is trying to utilize it now. As in phase one, all the lots were single-family residential lots. In the original construction plans of Pendlebrook, as Pendlebrook was going to be extended from this point, which is the current end of phase one of Pendlebrook. Pendlebrook was going to be extended all the way to here. And inside of that proposed development, there was an amenity site. And as far as recreational areas, that's what the recreational areas were, is the amenity site in there. Now that we were forced to go to Glenbrook, when all that happened, Stone Martin was out of lots, had nowhere to build homes. That is the reason that Mr. Larry Avant offered up this piece of property to start Glenbrook. And that's how Glenbrook got started. Glenbrook now, as we all know, has had 220 some odd lots, something of that nature. And I believe it was last month or maybe 2 months ago, when the Planning Commission saw the master plan of Glenbrook. Since then, the Pendlebrook property became available, and we saw it as an opportunity to solve a lot of problems. There's a traffic access problem in Glenbrook that we've all discussed, how to get that secondary access point, because as we developed Glenbrook, we were hoping to connect to River Chase North, and the River Chase North owners have yet to bring their development to their property line. We were originally hoping to connect to Pendlebrook, but nobody doing anything in Pendlebrook. So when this came available, we saw it as an opportunity to create that second entrance and get the traffic flow that the city would like to see. And so what we did is we have leapfrogged this piece of property in front of all of this and proposed to develop it prior to what this Planning Commission has originally approved as the master plan for Glenbrook. There are, I believe, I have to count, 25, 27 lots that we propose to add to Pendlebrook, and then everything behind that, because Pendlebrook is gone and it was not our subdivision, and now we've started Glenbrook, and Glenbrook is the flagship subdivision for Stone Martin. Would have loved to have carried on it be Pendlebrook forever, but with the property going into bankruptcy, it didn't give us that option. So what we're doing is proposing to add 25 lots to the Pendlebrook subdivision, and included in that is an amenity lot. And that's what we propose to do in Pendlebrook, and then immediately at this point, those lots right there are the proposed Pendlebrook lots. And then when we hit here, let it be part of Glenbrook, and it coordinate through with the entire master plan.
What exactly is this amenity lot?
It's to be determined.
Okay.
Stone Martin will have to get with the Pendlebrook HOA. The HOA has to, we do this all the time. The HOA, you get some people that want this amenity and some people that want that amenity. So they propose to get with the HOA and determine what's the proper amenity for this site.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I might have missed it. I think something before was mentioned about a clubhouse or a swimming pool or stuff like that. Is that still in the plans?
I don't know. As just the engineer, I don't know what has transpired between that. But I know that Stone Martin intends to now meet with the Pendlebrook HOA and determine what is the proper amenity for there.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how often you get into subdivisions and somebody doesn't. You'd be surprised how many people don't want a pool, where they argue these people want pools, these people want a playground, these people want a tennis court. These people just want flat, open property where their children can play. You never know.
Okay.
So we propose to get with the HOA at that time and find out what what it is that, is right for that site.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. HOA being who?
Pendlebrook Homeowners Association.
All right. What was promised to the citizen of that subdivision prior to the bankruptcy?
I do not know. We were given, Barrett Simpson was given an area for the amenity site, and we line itemed it out.
All right. Anyone else have any questions?
Did it? And Joel, you might remember, did the construction plans actually have anything on them? I don't either. I could look into that.
Would you do that for us, please?
Be happy to.
All right. Any more questions? Mr. Barrett? Mr. Duke, please. Thank you.
So just to fill in a few items here, this is the fourth sketch plan for this site, and not for the entire Glenbrook, but just for this Pendlebrook, Glenbrook section. There are 41 acres roughly that remain to be developed. The proposal has been presented, shows 103 single-family lots, with 26 of those being in what's being called the Pendlebrook subdivision, with a typical lot size of 65 foot wide and 135 feet deep. The remainder of the property, about 77 lots, will be developed as Glenbrook subdivision at typical size of 85 foot wide, 150 feet deep. Both of these proposed lot layouts are supported by the zoning of the property. The property was zoned with a 2010 sketch plan for R3 single-family residential and R5 single-family residential. And then there's a small sliver at the back of the property here that was left as R2. And to be honest with you, I can't find a good reason why that was the case, but as far as meeting zoning, the lots that they're proposing for that area meet R2 as well. So all of these, again, will be single-family residential. They are supported by the zoning of the property. As Mr. Rice noted, this solves a situation that we've had, which is trying to get secondary access to this property, provide secondary access to Glenbrook, which in turn provides secondary access to this property, and then there is a connection to the west into the larger remainder of the planned Glenbrook subdivision. So that connectivity that we're generally looking for, relation to the larger public park that's proposed with the latter phases of Glenbrook, all of that will be there with this proposed sketch. This sketch incidentally kind of returns us to the first and the second sketches, which were more of a curvilinear layout instead of a straight grid street, which is what was proposed with the third one. Be glad to answer any questions. As has been discussed with the earlier subdivisions, earlier sketches, the utilities are present to serve these properties. We'll go ahead and reiterate long-term there, and not with this phase, but long-term there needs to be some discussion about sanitary sewer and the long-term impacts of not just this addition, but these 4 through 7 phase additions of Glenbrook, and that at some point there will be a threshold where no more can be added until upgrades are made to the system. But not with this phase at this time. There's adequate utilities for these phases. Be glad to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Duke at this time? Thank you. Yeah, any discussion? If not, then we call for the vote. All in favor of the sketch plan for the Pembroke Phase 2 and the Glenbrook Phase 3 subdivision, let it be known by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion was unanimous. All right. Do we have anything on the miscellaneous? Duke?
So just two items. One, you have, drawing for a sketch plan, we don't have, that often have visitors. You may want to open up for public comment if there are any comments that you wish to hear. But I have an item which is, that you need to have kind of on your radar. The federal Department of Homeland Security is updating flood insurance rate maps for both Watauga and Elmore County. In the next couple of weeks, you'll hear certainly from the city and possibly from other sources about those being out for preliminary review. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday begins a 90-day comment period on those changes. Those changes are available for review in the planning department. We hope to have them also up on the city website.
Anything significant in them?
Yes, sir. I would say that there is some additional area along Pine Creek that has been added into the floodway and into the special flood hazard area. There are areas along Nolan Creek, which, sorry, not a good map, but Nolan Creek, you'll recall, is on our western border.
Yeah.
Runs through Golson Place, runs through Fairhead Subdivision, runs down through Winfield, and areas that we've discussed over the last 5 or 6 years. That's been studied completely now in a well-defined floodplain that's being presented by FEMA. That will have some impact on some of those areas that we knew had some susceptibility to flooding but didn't have it defined. So on a positive note, they've done a complete study of the Alabama River, which is updated, and that is a vastly improved model, and takes some people out of the floodplain that knew for years that they were not experiencing flooding when everybody else was, and that's helpful there. But the main purpose of these maps is to provide good data both for communities and for individuals to make decisions about development, and also to provide insurance agents with a good basis for issuing policies. So, anyway, if you're interested about more information about that, see me. I'll be glad to set you up. Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Any more questions, Mr. Duke, at this time? All right, thanks, Mr. Duke. As stated, recognize any visitors in here that would like to speak before our commission. If so, please come up. Ms. Morgan, do you have a place to be signed in? Please come and sign in, and then state your name and your address, and then. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. My name is Lee Pittman. I work with the Watauga County Commission, so a lot of y'all have probably seen me around before. City councilman in Watauga for several years, so I'm sure y'all seen my face a little bit. I'm kind of representing Pembroke subdivision a little bit. I'm a newcomer to Pembroke, hadn't been there very long, so I don't know all the first agreements that were made in 2010. But on their behalf, one of the big concerns we have is the same type of housing or that is in our neighborhood to be built behind us. And if I understand the presentation right, there's only going to be 27 more lots built of this style house, and then we're going to change styles. That's one of our concerns, is changing style houses in our neighborhood. I don't know what the first agreements was, because, like I said, I'm a newcomer. And one of the other big concerns was the traffic that it's going to put Also, from what I can gather from a lot of the people in Pembroke, their concerns are our recreation area. I was thinking it was already supposed to have been a recreation area set up in the neighborhood. You know, I understand about bankruptcy, but I don't know if that was the builder bankruptcy or if that was the landowner bankruptcy that caused these problems. But, you know, that's just, we've got a lot of concerns, and, you know, as a subdivision, we would like to discuss these concerns in the future before, you know, anything is proceeded exactly where we're standing. I'm not sure exactly what the process is. I'm sure you're going to have a public hearing, an open forum sometime down the road.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we can be a little more organized and see exactly what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Is there a way that we can get a copy of this plan to kind of look over?
Sir, we gonna,
Scale,
yes, sir, we gonna allow Mr. Rice to come up and speak, on according to what your questions are and your concerns with Pembroke. And, I think he was nodding his head that he do have, some plans or something like that you can look at or maybe have. Would you please come up, Mr. Rice?
Mr. Carter, I was going to go ahead and state that certainly the submitted sketch plan is available from our office as well. So
Oh.
it's not,
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duke.
I'm gonna move this over here so some of the members of the audience can see it a little bit better as well. Can everybody still see that? I'm in the way.
Yes. If you will, you need to come and speak in the mic because this is being recorded.
I can, Mr. Pittman, you had three concerns. The first of which was the style of the house. And I can tell you that when Stone Martin first came, we call that style of house that's in Pembroke the Craftsman style. And it was really a hot seller at the time. And as it came through, we found that that the city of Prattville was in need of actually a little larger home. And so if you notice everything that's been built in Glenbrook, with the exception of the 0 lot lines they have some rear alley, and we do have some of those planned for Glenbrook, but they are way back here. This is the end of Pembroke. The only 0 lot lines are planned are way back here, and then some way over here on the wholly other side of the property. But what Stone Martin found out was that Prattville was in need of some larger homes, and that the constituents really wanted, they wanted brick. And so that's why Glenbrook has been moved predominantly towards a brick neighborhood. And as far as the 26 lots, I think Joel said, sorry to say he has a better number than I do, and it's my plan. But the 26 lots, they are the smaller lots that Stone Martin builds, with houses more geared towards the size homes that are currently in Pembroke right now. Once you move past that, at this point, at the edge of the color, once you move into that, you move into Glenbrook, which all of those lots are the bigger lots in Glenbrook with the much larger homes. They're the 3,000 to 3,500. I think a few of them are upwards of 4,400 square feet in Glenbrook, and that's what is proposed for the rear. So that was the first concern. As far as the amenities go, maybe I didn't portray that well enough for everybody. What happened here is Stone Martin was not the developer of Pembroke. A previous developer built the subdivision. Stone Martin bought individual lots from them and then entered into an agreement to purchase the remainder and develop the remainder of the property themselves. While all that was going on, the owner of the property filed bankruptcy. so Stone Martin could no longer get control of the property itself. So for 2.5 years, the property has been in the bankruptcy courts, and Stone Martin had no opportunity to get it. It was the original developer of Pendlebrook who was also the owner of the rear property. It was that bankruptcy that caused all this. So the amenity lots, there was nowhere in Pendlebrook to offer an amenity as it sits now, because they were all residential lots. So the amenity lot was proposed for the next phase, and then when that gentleman filed bankruptcy, Stone Martin was kind of left out in the cold. We were actually really, really worried that we were going to lose everything we had done in Prattville until Mr. Avent was kind enough to offer his adjoining property. So that is why, that's one of the main reasons that we wanted to add some lots to Pendlebrook, so that there would be the opportunity that we could, get an amenity site in Pendlebrook, because I know that there were some discussions of amenities in Pendlebrook, but up until this point right now, we had no options. We had no control over the property.
Okay.
Let me make one more statement and I'll sit down. And this is from a whole different subject. This is actually from some of the people that go to school.
Would you speak in the mic? Speak up a little bit, sir.
Some of the people that actually go to school at the school there at East Memorial, they're having a concern with what the city is going to do about Old Ridge Road and about the traffic on it, with a lot more subdivisions there. I don't know if y'all ever go up through there, if you ever go up through Old Ridge Road in the mornings around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, or 5:30 in the evening. It's already congested with school kids coming up and down, and a lot of the families are having discussions about, especially teenage drivers, with that much traffic going to school and back and forth, people picking up their kids that have school daycare, going in and out. So another thing is just, we're wondering what the city's plans are for Old Ridge Road in the future. Whether it be a 4-lane road, or how they intend to improve Old Ridge Road to handle this traffic.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Duke, would you like to comment on that question?
Yes, sir. I can give some general statements on that. As we have developed Old Ridge Road, or seen it developed, there have been certainly reservations of right-of-way, so that future widening could take place. There have been turning lanes and deceleration lanes added, so that now present traffic and future traffic to a certain extent can be accommodated. And as you well know from the discussion about Glenbrook, as it goes into the future, there's been discussion about how to deal with Old Ridge Road beyond where we're talking about here south of the school, as we get further north and on back towards 31. And so some of that's reflected in this larger Glenbrook sketch plan, and that's at this point an ongoing discussion. So suffice to say that the traffic situation on Old Ridge Road is on our radar. It's being dealt with and looked at. I'll also say that transportation projects, of course, are revenue or expenditure intensive, and generally take some time to catch up with the needs. And we are trying to hurry that along as much as possible. But we are certainly planning for those traffic needs.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Yes, sir.
My name is Cleve Mallory, resident of Pendlebrook and member of the subdivision there of the homeowner association. And the few questions that I have toward the drawing are, for the amenities lots, are they displayed on this map? And if so, where? And then also, will at some point are two homeowners associations, meaning the one that is currently in existence now with Pendlebrook, and then these new homes that are to be added, Pendlebrook 1 and Pendlebrook 2, will they be joined together, those homeowners associations? And then the other is, for the amenities, will they be paying for the construction of whatever is decided upon? If the homeowners decide for a pool or for tennis courts or whatever is decided, how will that be paid for? How will that be constructed there?
I'll quickly just point to the lot, and it's, and I probably should have brought two boards. One of them shows just the actual sketch plan of this, and on that sheet, that lot right there is shown as an amenity lot. You can, yeah, it's that lot right there. When I did that, when I originally submitted that, and then the planning department asked for kind of a revised master plan, and it's the Glenbrook master plan, so that little piece of the thing that's amenity didn't get written on here, but I think it's in front of all of y'all. It is an amenity site. I mean, when it's shown as such, it's in your documents. So the question about the different HOAs, that is not the intention of Stone Martin at all. The intention is to, hopefully, with the Pendlebrook Homeowner Association, it's really, I would have to look and see who has the declarant right, but Stone Martin would like to put these 26 lots into the existing Pendlebrook subdivisions HOA in order to provide the existing homeowners with this amenity right. Should the HOA decide they don't want them or something like that, Stone Martin would more than likely not have to put it in there. But we assumed that the Pendlebrook Homeowner Association currently would want these lots, so it would give them the opportunity to get the amenity lot in there. So, but all that will have to be worked out. The Homeowner Association will have to meet and discuss it. As far as the payment, all that's up for discussion. I mean, Stone Martin is by no means saying we're going to give you this property and it's up to y'all to do something. But at the same time, Stone Martin can't really promise anything until we understand what is desired. So that's really, by no means is it just here. They're willing to expend some dollars to get something nice out there. Just have to figure out what.
All right, I have a question. What's the total number of lots that's being developed? And we're talking about how many people? And what's the size of the amenity lot that we're talking about to cover those two associations?
It would be, 49 and 26, so 75 lots. These 75 lots, I'll give a little bit of perspective on that. You've all seen the Glenbrook amenity lot, which is a big clubhouse, big pool, parking lot. I think it now has a playground. That amenity lot is right here. It's that little square right there, which is currently servicing 222 lots, something right in that area. This lot would probably be 75–80% of the size of that lot, to only serve 75 homes. So I mean, it's a very, very viable lot. It's not just a little piece of property stuck out there in the corner. I mean, it's a straight dedication of a lot that would otherwise have a home on it.
Okay. Any more questions for Mr. Hicks? Any questions for Mr. Duke? You have anything else? Present us with Mr. Duke. Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Just for you and as well as the folks that are present, just a reminder that the Planning Commission's minutes, which also contain the staff reports that go along with those minutes are generally up on the city's website, and they remain there for about a year and a half after the meeting. So after these minutes are approved at the next meeting, they go up on the website, available for review. If anybody's interested in the larger discussion about the book and this larger master plan, those minutes should already be up.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duke. Any more questions? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second? All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Thank you.